hat seine Arbeit im Studio in Kalifornien unterbrochen, um bei uns zu sein. Martin Johnson, besser bekannt als The Night Game, sitzt bei mir. Herzlichen Glückwunsch zum Newcomer International. Wie geht's dir? Was macht der Jetlag? First off, congrats on receiving the award in the category International Newcomer. How are you? How's the jet lag?
Thank you. I'm doing pretty good. Appreciate that. I'm just I love it here. So I'm really grateful that Germany's embraced the night game, and feels good to be even nominated. You know, and appreciate the recognition and the love. Jet lag's okay. I'm literally like here for 48 hours. So I like got in last night at 12:30 to the hotel, and it's so funny the way the hotel is at, because it's like I'm from Boston, Mass, and my room is themed Boston. So there's like little boats and it feels like Cape Cod. It's very strange. So I felt quite at home, and I got a little snooze. So I'm doing okay. It always feels like a bit of a fog, you know, when you first come over here. It's a bit of a but it's cool. You know, it's got through sound check that was sounding good, and just happy to be in Germany again.
Okay, ich versuche das kurz zusammenzufassen. Alles kann ich jetzt nicht simultan übersetzen, aber er sagt, er fühlt sich wohl, er ist froh, dass Night Game hier in Deutschland angenommen wird, dass er hier sein darf. Er fühlt sich ein bisschen, als wäre er so ein bisschen im Nebel, der ganze Jetlag, er spürt den schon. Und er fühlt sich aber zu Hause hier, weil er kommt aus Boston und sein Hotel hat ihn doch irgendwie an Cape Cod erinnert. Und genau, wir freuen uns auf heute Abend. Bist du denn fit, um heute Abend noch zu feiern? Are you up for partying tonight?
You know, I'm kind of retired from partying. I partied so good that I partied good enough for all the people in this room, even the ones behind the camera combined, and I'm retired. My jersey's hanging in the Hall of Fame. So yeah. No, I'll probably hang out and slap some high fives, kiss some babies, but I won't be partying too hard.
Okay, so ganz feiern wird er wahrscheinlich nicht. Er sagt, seine Zeit ist vorüber. Er hat das ausreichend gemacht für alle, die auch hier gerade bei uns im Raum sitzen. Und er wird da sein, aber wahrscheinlich wird das eher locker angehen lassen. Wir sind ja mitten im Europapark und umzingelt von Achterbahnen. Echt direkt neben uns fährt eine vorbei. Stehst du auf Freizeitparks? Gehst du heute noch eine Runde feiern? We're in the middle of an amusement park. Right next to us is a roller coaster just passing by. Yeah. Are you a fan? Are you gonna go for a ride?
I think I'll probably go for a ride. I'm feeling like maybe I need to get something in my belly first. You know what I mean? Eat something, but you know, like we have these things in the States called Six Flags, which are like crazy amusement parks, and I've done a tour of all the Six Flags before, where you play shows at each individual amusement park, and that was like one of my favorite tours ever, because you get to go on the roller coasters and do the whole thing. I used to be obsessed with roller coasters when I was a kid. I'd make them out of popsicle sticks. So for like a presentation in third grade, me and my friend Scott Silverstein made a full functioning roller coaster out of popsicle sticks. Not functioning, like couldn't really roll through. They had these things called Connects that did that, but and that one were rolled. But you know, each individual little teeny popsicle stick, I was like obsessed with it. You know, like design. You know, it's just another outlet for art, I guess, at the time. You know, but I'll probably give him a spin. Yeah, see if I throw up.
Alright, hopefully not. Er meint, er muss wahrscheinlich erstmal noch was essen, aber dann wird er schon mal schauen, dass er eine Fahrt auf jeden Fall machen wird. Und würde ich sagen, halten wir mal Ausschau nach der nächsten Station. Und genau, what are you up to these days? I saw some pictures from Burbank, California. Are you back in the studio working on the Night Game record #2 already?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am. Yeah, just keeping it kind of down low, but the new record's like pretty far along. It's like 7-8 songs in the can. Have kind of like a bit of a unique rollout strategy that I'm kind of preparing in maybe potentially 2 different bodies of work. One recorded to analog tape, and one like pop record recorded like standard 2019 method on the machine. And yeah, I'm really excited about this as a creative outlet. There's some songs that I've been meaning to put out for a really long time that are on there. There's some new stuff. There's like it's feeling really good, and I'm excited about the fact that maybe I could have an album out within a year of putting out this record, which is really exciting for me.
That is crazy. That's high-speed producing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the old one was such a long time coming. You know what I mean? It sort of sat for a bit while, you know, you sort of figure out, you know, you get your footing right, and it was a pretty long rollout. So I felt like the right thing to do right after tour, to just go right back in the studio and not take any time off.
All right. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you, sweetie.
Your current single in Germany is The Photograph.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite way to store memories?
I was so happy. Yesterday we came out on the plane and the radio Regenbogen was playing The Photograph, like the first song when we got in the car. So we got in the car and it was like, yeah, and I was like, okay, hey, thanks guys. I like original, like old photos. So there's a vertical video for the Photograph, which is like all disposable camera photos from when I was a kid. And so my dad keeps these old. My dad lives in Maine, which is kind of similar kind of like freezing cold climate to like the north of Germany. You know what I mean? And he has all these photo books. With printouts and Polaroids and stuff like that. I think things that you can feel and flip through really feel good. Digital world, I kind of lose things and you forget the fold, you mislabeled the folders and stuff like that and whatever. But so I had such a blast making the video for The Photograph because I got to go through all those old photos of my mom and friends when I was a kid, baseball, birthday parties, sports parties, you know, like out and you know, at the beach playing like baby pics, like it was kind of a nice walk down memory lane.
Perfect. You just mentioned what I want to ask you next.
Oh yeah.
You just talked about baseball and you got this baseball metaphor.
Oh yeah, the metaphor, yeah.
Are you much of a sports guy?
Yeah. You know, it's funny when you like. I produce records for other people, for pop artists and stuff like that. And so when you kind of like get in the music industry, you're a kid, you like have your idols, right? You have your people that you like adore. And I think when you start working on behind the curtain, it's like you meet the Wizard of Oz. You know, like you realize that you meet your idols and they're like shorter than you and like just human, you know. And I think with sports, I still like am able to like with the helmet, football helmet on and the eye black. It's like there's still something to believe in, you know. So I'm a fan of my popcorn, you know, just like kind of loving it. I'm a big American football fan, and I've been trying to get a little bit into, you know, kind of like football like soccer, and that's a harder one. We're not really that obsessed with that in the States, but. I'm trying a little bit, and then American baseball. I'm a fan of all the Boston teams, so the Bruins and the Celtics and the Patriots and the
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Which of your songs is the one that you receive the most feedback to, that sparks the most interest in people?
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of depends on the person, you know, like people who really like the catchy, you know, like, you know, sort of the Outfield or Bad Girls Don't Cry and off this record, and then people who like dig their teeth into the lyrics like Coffee and Cigarettes or Summerland or The Photograph or one of the deeper cuts. And I think this, you know, hopefully a little bit of something for everybody, you know, kind of depending on what you're interested in listening to. You want to dance, you know, there's that, and you want to kind of a little bit more of a darker lyric, there's that bit of that as well.
Have you heard any special stories that people connect with your songs? Or any of the...
Yeah, there's been, you know, it's always crazy to see tattoos and to see people just, you know, covering the music on Instagram. You go on and people are singing the songs and really relating to it on road trips, playing it, making T-shirts. It's cool when you see an idea that was like just hatched in your living room, all of a sudden people really living it. It's no longer your song, you know what I mean? It's theirs now, and they have this attached to a memory, you know. And my memory is no longer what the song means. It's kind of becomes the people's song. Yeah.
Okay. You're receiving the award for being the international newcomer tonight.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel?
Feels good. I'm just happy to be embraced by Germany, you know. Like I think that it's I hadn't spent a ton of time here before working on this Night Game project, and I've really fallen in love with the country and the people and the culture and the music and the food, and I just I'm really happy to be here and to be accepting the award. I think it's.
Have you thought about what's going to happen to the actual award? Do you have a...
Oh yeah, I got a spot for it. I got a spot for it. I'm not really that much of a knick-knack guy. I have a bunch of like, you know, platinum records, and they kind of sit on the floor, you know, like in the studio. They're sort of over in the corner, you know. Yeah, well, I just think it's funny. It's like, what's your favorite platinum plaque? You know, it's like the next one, you know, the next one.
That's the way to answer. Yeah. There you go. You said you're not much of the guy who's gonna go partying tonight, but you'll be there. So
yeah, I'll be around.
How are you gonna react if one of your songs is gonna be played?
Maybe I'll sing along. Maybe I'll sing along.
Okay. I'll jump to our category.
Okay, great.
11, which is a part of our morning show. It's just 11 quick questions, 11 quick answers.
Uh-huh.
And I'll go right ahead. One of your songs is called Once in a Lifetime.
Yeah.
This one's my once in a lifetime moment.
Uh-huh. What's my once in a lifetime moment?
You gotta fill in the brackets, basically.
Do you want the depressing answer or the happy answer? Do you want the real answer from the song, or do you want the like...
It can be anything. It can be something that you just say, okay, this was once in a lifetime. It doesn't have to be...
Well, the song's about leaving New York. I was kind of stuck in an apartment. I was a little bit dark, and I was like, there was finally that pinhole of light, and I was like, I'm out of here, and I walked out the front door for the first time in months, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what the song's about, is that, like, sort of you get this little opening of a chance, and it's you're either going to rot or you're going to move. And I just got on a flight, and I moved to LA, and I packed up all my stuff, and I lived in a hotel for like a year. And that was sort of about changing my life and changing everything. And that's what that song is about. But on a lighter note, if it was like a once in a lifetime chance, it's the first time I got a call from a German label, wanting to sign an American artist, and they heard the song on the Bill Burr podcast. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, why not? I'll take a flight and meet a bunch of strangers in Germany and let them take me out to dinner, and we'll see. And now I'm here winning an award, so that worked out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Chance might just be the right thing to do. Okay, relaxing or partying, we already hit that.
I'm not really a relaxer, so I feel that I used to I used to love drinking. I used to love doing drugs, but I kind of have retired. So now I kind of am a little bit more into like crazy sports. So I've been skiing a lot. I've been skiing since I was a kid, but so I try to get my rush from biking and skiing. So I downhill mountain bike and I ski quite a bit in Utah. And so I'll work all week, 12 hours a day in the studio, and then I go skiing on the weekends or biking on the weekends. It gives me a bit of a fuel thing. It's probably more dangerous, to be honest with you, than the drugs, but a little better for my body, I think, long term. As long as I don't go over the handlebars.
Fingers crossed. In one sentence, why the night game?
The name, or the name, or just the or it. Because the day game's more boring.
Okay, your current single is called The Photograph. I'd like to take a picture with.
I'd like to take a picture with? You.
All right,
come on.
We'll do it afterwards.
No, right now. No, we'll take it right now. We'll take a photo right now. Come on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we look fantastic. I'll send you that later.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. My perfect breakfast is?
I usually have like almond yogurt.
All
This is so like in Los Angeles, like the worst. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit lactose intolerant, so I have almond yogurt with a little bit of blueberries and some granola, and I spin it up. I don't really love like heavy breakfast. I just had breakfast at the hotel, and I do love the way that you guys do the spread at the hotel with like, but I usually go like granola with fruit and yogurt, something really light and a little bit sweet first, and then I went back and I got some salmon and I put lemon on. I'm Scandinavian, so like I like the like sort of pickled fish, and so like herring or salmon with a bunch of lemon on it, and like on a cracker or whatever.
Get some variety.
Yeah. I was drinking a lot of Diet Coke. So like I used to have like a Diet Coke. The first thing I would do when I wake up is like have a Diet Coke, and I'm like 6 weeks off Diet Coke. So I'm like having like iced coffee and sparkling. Honestly, it was like harder to quit than smoking cigarettes. So I was a cigarette smoker for a while, and then that nasty American habit of chewing tobacco, like with the big wad like the baseball players do. Uh-huh. And quitting Diet Coke was harder for me than quitting chewing tobacco.
Oh, wow. Okay. If my music was a painting, it would look like this.
Like just like that,
Just like that.
100%.
The perfect rainbow.
Yeah, the perfect rainbow.
Perfect.
Little taste for everybody.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
The craziest experience with a fan was?
A fan had me sign their dog once. So, like the dogs that don't have any hair?
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen this? The dogs with no hair? So it was like a bald dog, and they said, "Will you sign my dog?" And they held it up for me, and I signed it to the dog.
What did the dog say?
The dog seemed pretty nice. He was pretty happy, and I was petting the dog, but they're like, will you sign my dog? And I signed the dog. I've signed a baby, too. Will you sign my child? I signed its foot.
All right. Well,
I was like a little bit worried about like ink poisoning, you know what I mean? Like Sharpie, but like, so I signed a dog and a child.
Yeah, all right. Why not?
You asked the weirdest one, you got the weirdest one.
The 80s are the best decade because...
The 80s are the best decade?
Would
So
you
funny.
agree?
I was only alive for 5 years of the 80s, and I don't really remember them. It's funny, like, a lot of journalists give me a lot of, like, because I have, like, a mullet haircut and stuff. They're like, oh, it's so 80s. It's 80s, like synths and a mullet. I just make the music. It's like, I get a lot of comparisons to kind of 80s music. I think it's because of, like, kind of powerful pop song, whatever, But culturally... I'm a big fan of 80s movies and 80s culture and 80s colors and 80s games and sort of 80s like, but my childhood was in the 90s. Yeah.
All right. A ritual before getting on stage.
I warm up my voice and I bicycle. So I'd get on the bike and I bike through whatever town I'm in for like 10, 20 miles and warm up my cardio, so I feel really good. And usually I sing while I'm on the bike, so I'll have one in ear and see on the bike. People look at me like I'm crazy, but gets me cooking. And you're moving while you're singing, so it's important to start that up before you get on the stage.
All right. The best song while driving is?
I drive in silence. I know. It's like psychopathic. Like I listen to podcasts and drive in silence. Yeah.
Okay.
I think once the curtain is kind of like I was talking about before with the Wizard of Oz, like once you see behind the curtain, it's like hard to be a fan of, like, you know what I mean? Like, so when I'm not making music I listen to, like, I'm like a huge Simon and Garfunkel fan, so I'll listen to like the Live in Central Park or like, I'm a huge fan of that, or James Taylor, or the Traveling Wilburys, or kind of like older, sort of like late 60s.
All right. The Night Game in 3 words.
The Night Game.
There you go. Perfect answer. Woo! Yeah, done. I read that you're into musical theater. Is that true?
I grew up doing it. So like I grew up like singing and plays and kind of doing that whole thing, and it kind of, I think it taught me a lot about melodic, like melodies, like flowing kind of melodies and theatrical sort of like expression and storytelling in songs. So I'm really grateful that's a part of my past. I think it was like, it taught me a lot about conquering fear on stage and being a performer and playing a character, and I miss it sometimes.
Okay, perfect. Then you gotta wait till the end, because the finale we got Aber performing.
Oh, okay.
The musical cast performing Aber.
Okay.
Band, so
That's tonight?
That's
They're doing ABBA at their thing?
Show.
Yeah, okay. The Mamma Mia stuff? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
They can do Dancing Queen, you think?
we'll see.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
All right. I'm tuned.
All right. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here. Thank you so much for the interview, and I hope
Lots of love. Thank you. Appreciate the support.